Ow, okay. Those are a little too tight to put on your nipples. What's up YouTube, Jason here with Byte My Bits, and in today's video, I'm doing a little bit of repair / explaining an upcoming project that I want to work on a UPS that's kind of, sort of, it didn't explode, but the fan did. Look at that. The fan's not moving. No, it's not moving so fast you can't see the blades. Instead, it just completely fell apart. Which, honestly, I've never had a fan do before, so I don't know if this is just a super cheap fan or what, but either way, I had one blade that went bad, it made some weird noise, and then I had another blade that fell off, and then it got super loud, so, I accidentally may or may not have, stuck a screwdriver in there to break off the rest of the fans while I waited to get a new one, so, now it has no blades at all. I ended up taking it apart recently before I, did all this, make sure that I could order the correct fan, and these are the blades. So they just fell apart. There's 4 of them here. There's a 5th one in here somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. So that's what spawned this, and if you haven't noticed already, I have a bunch of batteries over here. I got a total of like 12 batteries sitting here. Some of these are good, some of these are bad, and that's gonna be kind of the second part of this video. Here's basically what happened. I have 2 of these CyberPower UPSs. I bought them, they're fairly cheap. I think they're like up to 3,000 watts or 3,000 VA and then 1,500 watts. Really good UPSs as far as like bang for your buck, but they're kind of dumb UPSs as far as they don't have a lot of, connectivity. You have to buy an expensive add-on card just to be able to control it via Ethernet. I mean, they're definitely budget, but just for throwing raw power at something, they're a good bang for the buck. So I bought one of these, I liked it, I bought a second one. This was actually the first one that I purchased. I bought a second one because I liked it so much, and everything went really smooth for a long time, 0 issues. Now this one I've had for, I wanna say about 4 years. This is the one with the broken fan. 4 years I've had on this one. The second one I've had for maybe a little over a year. And I say that because that's important, because the newer one, the batteries died in a little over a year. All 4 of them, just crapped out, completely pointless. So I lost power one time, and that was just happened to be the one that was connected to my servers, and all my servers went down. So I'm like, WTF. This actually happened a couple months ago, and I didn't really, look into replacing the batteries. I was just, busy, and I switched everything, all the crucial stuff over to this one because even though this was the older one, the batteries still worked. So, I had one loud one that was like, nyeh, all the time, and then I had one that really just didn't work at all. Fast forward to about a week ago, and I ordered a brand new set 4 of these. These are a cheaper replacement. You can get a pack of 10 of them for $200, but I only bought a pack of 4 of them. I don't remember how much they were. I think they're about $80 for 4 of them, so what, $20 each? Super cheap in comparative to, the stock ones that you can buy. They don't put out as much power, but they are considerably cheaper. And since these batteries go out anywhere between, 1 to 3 years, it's really hard to justify buying super expensive batteries to replace them. So in today's video, like I said, the first part is I went online to try to find a replacement for the fans that the fan that completely exploded on me. And pretty much these are 80 millimeter fans, right? But they're only 20 millimeters thick. So super thin fans, 20 millimeters thick. You cannot go anything bigger without having to do a lot of work to get the fan into the system. I mean, if you look at this slides in right here. You see that? There's no room, not at all, to get any fan that's bigger. So I couldn't go with the 25 millimeter thick fan or anything. So I had to go directly with this. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because this fan is rated at 0.2 amps. Yeah, DC 12 volt, 0.2 amps. This fan that came with the UPS that exploded is 0.6 amps. So I'm kind of sort of worried that this fan is going to possibly burn up if this thing ramps up, sends, 0.6 amps to the fan and it can't handle it and it's just going to completely fry it. But I could not find this fan anywhere. I found a kind of shady Alibaba or whatever that website is. It kind of looks shady, but I found something like this, but yeah. As far as Amazon or whatever, this is what I was able to find. Now this should be a direct replacement with the exception of the cable. The cable obviously is not going to be long enough because it is going to have to stretch all the way over here, go all the way over here, and I have a plug-in for the fan over there. So I will have to attach this somehow, and I think got stuff for it. So I got some wire connectors here. I will have to attach it to extend it, get it ran over. Not that big of a deal, but that is something that I have to do. So while I was doing all this, exploring the batteries and all that, no, these are not nipple clamps, but I got this battery tester. Now, I don't know exactly how to use this specific to these batteries as far as all the options that includes with it, like, the type of battery, stuff like that. What I do know is that if you basically select generic options and just do a crank amp testing, then you can get numbers that you can test throughout all of the other batteries and see how they mount up. So these batteries, being 3 to 4 years old, are still pulling 260 CCA, whereas these ones were only pulling 240, right? And that's all the way charged, brand new. They're just not as powerful, which is fine. But I was able to use the same battery tester to test out these batteries to verify that they are just completely dead. This one kind of had a weird reading, so I charged it up using a battery charger that I had for a couple days. Did not make any difference, still dead. So all those batteries are dead. That's what this is for. Past that, I don't need that anymore. Actually, let's give you an idea. So all you have to do, you connect these to the batteries, right? You want to make sure they're nice and snug, nice and secure. And then this boots up. Now I can go through here and I can select a car, battery, out of vehicle. I just select a regular flooded, even though it's probably a flat plate. I have no idea. I don't really know that much about batteries. Then I can either check the crank amps or the CCA. I don't really know the difference, but I usually go down the crank amps over here, right? I do the base at 200, which was just a shot in the dark. It'll measure it no matter what, and then I hit enter. This is going to measure it, and boom, it comes back 201 crank amps. Now, something to note here is that this one came back 201 crank amps, but one of the readings that I did after fully charging it came back as 210 crank amps on one of these stock batteries. So that's something to note. This is 100% charged. I had it charged everything, and it still is not as powerful as the stock batteries. That's something that I wanted to know about, just wanted to test it before I did anything with it. Hopefully it works. If not, oh well. But that also brings me to the wires. Now, I had to make new wires with new connectors. That does not count. I had to make new wires with new connectors. Pretty much these are thinner. These are smaller. The connectors on them are smaller than the stock ones. So I had to make new connectors. That way they didn't just completely fall off super easily. I did that as well. If you guys don't know anything about UPSs in general, most of them run with 48 volts. So they have 4 12 amp ran in series to create a 48 volt connection. Then you have this battery connector, which I thought was kind of weird, but the way it connects to the actual power supply itself, it has 2 connections. It comes off to 2 12 gauge wires that come back together to 1 connection, and then that connects to one side, and then the positive connects to the other side. And then those come into the UPS. They go with 2 12 gauge connections all the way over to the same connection inside that connects to 1. So I don't know why they don't just use one, 10 amp or 10 gauge wire, but that's what they do. I don't know. During my testing, however, I had another one. I don't have it with me, but I split both of these, created 2 separate connections, and I actually hooked up all 8 batteries to one UPS. I pulled the power, I drained it, I got it all the way down to like 5 minutes, and then I plugged it in and let it charge back up. And I did that a few different times, testing, kind of thinking to myself, hey, as an upcoming project, I would like to see how these batteries do, first of all, just kind of in the short run, see how these batteries do, and then if these do really well, I might build kind of a battery array using possibly 3 or 4 of these ran in 48 volt sequences in parallel, and then see if I can get them all charging and running on one UPS. This thing is out of warranty, and part of me has been kind of debating of upgrading my UPS power supply altogether. So it wouldn't really be much of a loss, you know, if this thing fried. My only thing is I don't want it to catch fire, because that would be bad. But I don't think it will. I think it'll just not work. But in the end, it might only cost me like a couple $100 worth of batteries to add on to this battery pack and then wire everything together, and you know, that's a thing for down the line. Right now, I'm just kind of getting everything hooked back up and tested. But the first thing that I have to do is install this new fan, which, let's see, okay, going this way. Got to install this new fan. Then I got to connect everything. Got to wire it, which is not exciting at all. Now, the next thing, like I said before, is going to be this cable. This has to extend all the way over here. So very simple connection. I think I have the right stuff to do it. I don't know if this is gonna be too big. Shouldn't be, but get this connected first. Woo! Okay, so something in there still has a charge, and I connected this to the motherboard, and it kind of sort of sparked. I don't know if I just fried this UPS, and it makes me think I don't want to touch this because it might kill me. Probably okay. Yes, I completely understand the irony of having wire strippers and using my teeth. I get that. All right, perfect, got that. Now I just need to kind of clean this up a little bit, get this tucked out of the way. It ran down here. And there you have it. I mean, that's basically it. Just swap the fan, hook up the wires, and now I just kind of want to plug it in to see if this thing burns up. But before I do that, I need to hook up these batteries. Now, like I said, I made these new ones, and they are not very tight, so I just got to tighten these things down. That way they hold a little bit better, but they are the right size. So all you have to do is run these things in series of 48 volts. Let's see. So on this side, this is the side with the connectors, and the wire comes in through here. Now to connect all these, I can't remember how they are laid out, but to connect all these, you pretty much lay them like this on their side. Right, and then you're going to be connecting the negative to the positive when you're running them in series like this. So, for example, this negative, I'm going to run to this positive. All right, so now that that's connected, I'm going to hook up this negative. It's going to go to this positive, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and you just want to kind of make sure that the battery terminals are not directly facing each other. That way they don't touch each other, and you want to make sure it doesn't come unplugged. Now this strings everything together and makes these 12 volt batteries run as a 48 volt battery. Okay, whenever I continue my experiment with running a bunch of different batteries, I'm gonna get better connectors. I ordered like this bulk connector thing on, I think, Amazon or eBay or something, and they don't really feel that strong. So I think I'm gonna have to get something a little bit higher quality. Now, the key here is to plug everything in, and hopefully this doesn't explode on me. Theoretically, by all reasoning, I should be able to turn this on, power it up, see how much time I have left on this, and be good to go. Actually, really, I should be able to Ooh, that was weird. Estimated runtime, 100 minutes. Everything seems like it's coming on. Also, the fan started spinning, so that is good. I need something to plug in just to kind of test it out. Hold on. Shortest cable, apparently. Okay, this goes to a computer. You can't see it. It's down there. Goes to that computer. Should only run 200 or 300 watts though, so right now the UPS is not plugged in right now. And I'm gonna try to power up this computer. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's see, you got an output of %. Battery capacity of 62%. I don't know. The battery capacity is actually going up. So it looks like it's reading these batteries right now and it's kind of calibrating itself now that it's actually using. It's got an estimated runtime of 47 minutes. And input 0 volt, output 120, 114 watts, 165 watts. So yeah, so look like these new batteries definitely have to do a little bit of calibration to get everything up to par. But again, going back to what I did before, I was able to hook up all 8 batteries, test them, drain them, and then let them charge up. Obviously it's gonna take longer to charge because it's charging 8 batteries versus 4. But part of me kind of wonders, and I'll link in the description down below, so maybe if you guys want to look this up and tell me, part of me kind of wonders if I can run, 4 sets of these batteries. So effectively quadrupling the overall capacity or the runtime of this UPS, sacrificing recharge time obviously, but possibly quadrupling the amount of storage that it holds. So that's something obviously is not going to fit into this. If I do that, I'm going to build some kind of a frame or something to hold these batteries. I don't know. Maybe you guys can link down to some other options. Let's see, this is at 70%, 72%. Still keeps fluctuating. It's kind of weird. But if you guys have better options, because these are about 80 bucks for 48 volts, and if I get 10 of them, that's going to be another 200 bucks. So you can kind of understand about where the budget I'm working with. These are going to go into the other UPS that I have because that's all connected. These all work just fine. This is going to get both of my UPSs up and running for the time being. But I do definitely want to experiment with this one using all of the same new batteries. So if you guys have any other better options for me, let me know in the comments down below. This seems to be fluctuating between 74 and 75%. Got 51 minutes runtime on a full computer, so that's good. 56 minutes, depending on how much it's using. So, yeah, I think everything's good. Boom. I'm sorry, Ryzen. Forgive me for not powering you down the correct way. Oh, that's just so bad. As you can see, I have more stuff to put this thing together. I gotta put the plate on, I gotta put the battery top on the cage. None of that matters. That's just putting stuff back together. But I cannot wait to expand on this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I don't like this setup where they're laying down. I wanna set them up like this so I can wire it all and make it be a little bit cleaner. But I definitely wanna run at least 3, maybe 4 packs of 48 volt batteries for this old UPS. The worst case scenario, if this does fail, I will buy another one, which is completely fine. I was on the fence of buying a new one anyway. That's okay. If you guys think it's a terrible idea though, let me know. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Like and subscribe and have yourself a good day.